How do I turn off the sales order line periscope? It pops up every time a sales order is opened.
I have not witnessed that myself. So maybe reach out to your support partner. They'll want to know what version of Exo you're running. See if we can recreate it on motor parts, and yeah, test that out for ourselves. But that's
can you disable the periscope?
No, I don't. You can't disable the periscope, but it certainly shouldn't be popping every time you go into a sales order. The periscope is part of the functionality of sales order lines, and there's key details within that sales order line periscope that you probably don't want to remove. But yeah, it certainly shouldn't be trying to pop up every time you go into a sales order.
Okay. All right. Now, are you sitting down, Murray?
I am.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I certainly can. Let me bring back up my Exo.
Got a bit of a tricky one here. How do you know what version of Exo you're on?
So if you want to check your version of Exo, let me just minimize that question. You can go to Help and About. And then your Exo version is sitting along the top, the very top of that About screen.
Very good. All right, now I do have one here. Are you ready? This is a bit of a long one. I'm unclear about how Exo behaves when dealing with debtor accounts that have price policies or price rules set up for an item versus price one of the same item on the sales order. For example, if an item is set up in a price policy and the price policy is attached to a debtor's account, at the same time, the item is also set up in the pricing rules for the same debtor account, there is also a price for the item in price one under the stock item details. 2 questions. What are the rules Exo will use for selecting the price onto the sales order for this debtor? Are there rules around always using lowest price?
Yeah. So yes, is the simple answer. Exo uses what's called best price. So it will always calculate if you've got a price for a particular stock item set up in your stock item prices. And let me just show you what I mean. I don't know where my sales or my stock item screen went to there, but let's bring one back.
Now, while you're navigating there, last call for questions to our attendees. Get your last minute questions in there before we finish up.
So when we talk about price one, price two, price three, we're talking about the sell prices that are coded against a stock item. So it's these here. Now, if you've got a price rule set up, and I'm working in motor parts here, so I may not have any price rules configured, but let's go take a look. So I'm going to just jump into a debtor account. This is the easiest way to get to your price rules. If we bring up a price policy, take a look at our price rules. Okay, so what we've got here is a couple of account groups. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. So you can either align a debtor account to a price policy by either listing out every single account that you want to be under that price policy, or you can use price policy groups. And inside the debtor account, you can assign a price policy group to that debtor. It's usually more efficient to work off price policy groups and allocate things that way. The reason for doing that is if you need to do an update on your price policy, say your annual review, whatever, increasing prices, using price policy groups, you can simply select a policy group that those debtor accounts are assigned to, rather than going through and manually adding in every single account group when you create your new price policy. But the short answer to the question is, Exo will look for best price. So if the price rule is giving you a better price, whether it's a discount percentage or whether it's a substitute price, or shifting you to a lesser base price or lower base price, it will always pull through the cheaper of the two.
Very good. All right, now we did have one more question here around e-invoicing. Now, e-invoicing is really being supported at this stage by the EDI vans, by the EDI partners. We do expect MYOB to release a little bit of information in the short term about a specific EDI van that might be recommended, but you're free to identify whichever EDI van that you'd like to work with around your e-invoicing requirements. And it likely makes sense that you manage that in conjunction with the overall consideration of any other opportunities you've got to leverage EDI across your client base or across your supply base. Leveraging EDI to do the invoicing, leveraging that van to do the invoicing support, and also leveraging them for any EDI support around the benefits of automation and getting those orders into your system automatically. If you are looking for any other suggestions in terms of some specific EDI vans to work with, there is a list of authorized service partners on the ATO and the IRD website, or just reach out to your MYOB Exo partner and they should be able to guide you through some other suggestions around that. And look, I think that's it in terms of questions. We're going to finish up there.